Good morning.
And what have you got for us today?
It's you we want to know about. Well, all these vases, actually. How did they get here?
How were they made?
Who found them?
Oh, well, that's easy enough. A pot is a pot, after all. Surely you've seen pots being made.
No, we haven't actually.
Oh, well, it's no great mystery. They still make pots in Greece today, same as they always have. You start with a lump of clay. Clay that's been dug out of the ground. The clay spins round and round on a wheel, and all the time the potter's shaping it with his hands. Once the pots had been made, we would bake them in a kiln to make them hard and strong. And then came the final process, painting the pots, painting on figures like Glaucon and myself. And that's how all the vases in this museum were made.
But how did they come to be in the museum?
Well, like most old things, vases get buried underground as time goes by. Deeper and deeper with every century.
That's what happened to Cleo and me. Broken into pieces we were. Then along came some archaeologists.
Archaeologists. Good Greek word, that. It means someone who studies the past. They dig away at the soil, and every time they find something, they put it on one side and make a record of the find. Sometimes they find lots of bits of pottery from the same vase. When that happens, they try to fit the bits together, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Where there are bits missing, they fill in the gaps with plaster of Paris. Which is how I came face to face with my old friend Cleo again. 2,000 years later, and she doesn't look a day older.
Oh, thank you, sir. Anyway, the best finds get put in museums. There you are, another Greek word. So that people like you can come and see them. Of course, that's not the only way we know about the past. Written clues are very helpful. You can tell a lot from the writings of the ancient Greeks. But just as important are the objects that the archaeologists find. Some are big, like the grain jar you saw, and some are small, like this statuette next to me. Do you recognize this scene?
Oh, yes, I know. It's baby Herakles, strangling the snakes.
Sent by?
The goddess Hera.
Exactly.
That's how Herakles began his life, and here's how he ended it. The last part of the labors of Herakles. You must perform 2 more labors before I set you free. They'll bruise your bones, they'll break your back. Believe me, Herakles, they're the 2 hardest labors of all. So Herakles had set out once more. His task was to bring back 3 golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides. The Hesperides were the daughters of the Titan Atlas, and they guarded the apples for the goddess Hera. The walls of the garden were so high that no mortal could climb them. So Herakles had gone in search of old Atlas himself. Atlas lived at the top of a nearby mountain. He had not moved from there for thousands of years because Zeus had given him the task of holding up the sky. "Very well," said Atlas. "I'll step over the walls and pick the apples for you, but first you must take my place and hold up the sky." Herakles gladly agreed, but it took all his strength, and by the time Atlas returned with the apples, his muscles were cracking, sweat was streaming from his body. And worse, he could see that the Titan was enjoying his new freedom and was in no hurry to take up his load again. When Atlas said that he would take the apples back to Eurystheus himself, Herakles knew that he'd have to think fast.
"All right, Atlas. But hold this weight for a moment while I roll up my lion skin. I need a good pad for my shoulders."
And the trick worked. Atlas put down the apples and once again shouldered the blue-green-violet sky. And Herakles could sail back to Tiryns with the golden apples.
Goodbye, old Atlas. Goodbye, Titan.
So, Herakles, one more labor. But this last task is the most dangerous of all. I want Hades' watchdog.
Cerberus?
Yes, bring me Cerberus, the 3-headed hound of hell, and none of your poisoned arrows this time. You must use your bare hands. Athena guided Herakles to the entrance to Hades, and from there he made his way alone down into the underworld. He came to the river Styx, and Charon the ferryman rowed him across, the first living human ever to enter the land of the dead. On the other side, the ghosts of the dead shimmered and drifted around Herakles, and he fired an arrow at one of them. But the ghost only shook her head in sorrow.
What have you to fear from the dead, Herakles? And what have we to fear from you?
And Herakles knew the voice.
Megara, my wife. Every day your memory haunts me. Do you forgive me, Megara?
Yes, Herakles. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Herakles hurried on, through the darkness, through the shadows, and at last, beside a white cypress grove, near the river of forgetting, he reached the palace of Hades, the ruler of hell, and there, at the gate, was Cerberus. Once again, Herakles spat on his hands. He grabbed Cerberus's neck and squeezed the watchdog's throat just under its 3 heads. The hound slobbered burning venom, and he lashed at Herakles with his barbed tail. Again and again he struck at him, but still Herakles squeezed, and Cerberus began to choke, until finally he rolled right over and feebly pawed the air. And then Herakles dragged him away from the kingdom of Hades, up into the light of the world, and all the way back to Tiryns. Eurystheus had seen them coming, and when Herakles entered the great hall with Cerberus, it was deserted. Just the empty wine jar, half sunken into the palace floor, and the terrified voice that cried out from inside it. "Take him away, Herakles! Take the monster back!"
Is that my last labor, Eurystheus?
"Yes,
And I am free?
yes! Go! Go! Go!" That night, he lit a fire. He roasted meat on a spit. He ate honey cake. Under the Milky Way he slept. Herakles was at peace. When the day came for him to die, he climbed his own funeral pyre. He covered himself with his lion pelt and used his club as a pillow. And then Herakles, strongest of the strong, sighed a long sigh and closed his eyes. As he did so, Zeus lit the pyre with a flash of lightning and lifted his son to Mount Olympus in a drum roll of thunder. One by one, the gods embraced Herakles. Hera was last. She forgave her husband Zeus for his human son. She forgave Herakles. As she had hated him, so now she loved him with her whole heart. And Zeus raised his golden hand.
Herakles, my son, now when the giants and titans attack us, you will help us to destroy them. And now, because you sacrificed yourself, you will win the greatest of all rewards. From this day on, you and your name will never die. You are immortal. And thus it was that Herakles, greatest by far of all great men, took his place in the heavens.